Hello everyone. In this video, I explained in detail about the gastrulation. Third week of development is characterized by primitive streak formation, notochord development, differentiation of three germ layers, that is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These three are the important events takes place at the third week of development. The third week of embryonic development coincides with the week following the first missed menstrual period. That is 5 weeks after the first day of the last normal menstrual period. During this time, women can feel the missed periods. So third week of development is that main event, that is gastrulation formation. Let's discuss about the gastrulation. So gastrulation is the first major event of the third week of development, occurs 15 days after fertilization. It involves the rearrangement and migration of cells from the epiblast. The inner cell mass in the human embryo consists of two layers, that is epiblast and hypoblast. During this time, it is called bilaminar disc. Then, this gastrulation converts this bilaminar disc into three layers, that is upper ectoderm, middle mesoderm and lower endoderm. So, in general, gastrulation is nothing but formation of three germ layers from bilaminar disc. Gastrulation begins with formation of primitive streak on the surface of the epiblast, that is future ectoderm. The first evidence of gastrulation is the formation of primitive streak. The primitive streak is clearly visible as a narrow groove with slightly bulging regions on either side at the caudal end of the embryonic disc. So it appears in 15th to 16th day embryo, means that is starting of third week. So in this image you can observe that blue color, it is nothing but epiblast. Over the epiblast at the dorsal area or the caudal region, a narrow groove is appearing, that is nothing but primitive streak. So the first evidence of gastrulation is formation of primitive streak. Already we discussed. So what is it? It is nothing but a faint groove on the dorsal surface of epiblast that elongates from the posterior to anterior part of the embryo. The first image you can observe, there is a long elongated groove from the caudal end. You can observe that is the primitive streak. The primitive streak results from proliferation and movements of cells of the epiblast to the median plane of the embryonic disc. So this primitive streak is nothing but there is a proliferation of the cells on that epiblast. At the head end of the primitive streak, a small group of epiblast cells forms a rounded structure called primitive node. So a narrow primitive groove develops in the primitive streak that is continuous with a small depression in the primitive node. That is the primitive pit. So the second image you can observe, there is a groove, primitive groove. So on the top of the primitive groove it is a primitive node, and in middle of the primitive node it is a primitive pit. So primitive streak formation over the dorsal surface of the epiblast near the caudal end as it grew, and at the top of this there is a primitive node, in middle there is a primitive pit. As soon as the primitive streak appears, then it is possible to identify the embryo as craniocaudal axis, that is cranial and caudal ends can be identified, dorsal and ventral surfaces, right and left sides. So, formation of germ layers. So, following formation of the primitive streak, the cells of the epiblast move inward below the primitive streak and detach from the epiblast in a process called invagination. Through that invagination, the cells from the epiblast enters into the hypoblast, and this hypoblast it is converted into endoderm. So once the cells have invaginated, some of them displace the hypoblast forming the endoderm. So this image it is showing that from epiblast, from the primitive streak, the cells are migrating and forming that epiblast as that endoderm. Then other cells remain between the epiblast and newly formed endoderm that forms the mesoderm. Then cells remaining in the epiblast then form the ectoderm. So the ectoderm and endoderm are that epithelia composed of tightly packed cells. The mesoderm is loosely arranged connective tissue. So from this invagination, the process of invagination, from the epiblast, the cells enters, migrates and forms that hypoblast into the endoderm. Then epiblast in the ectoderm, and in between that it forms the mesoderm. So epiblast is the source of all the germ layers formation, that is ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So what is the fate of primitive streak then? The primitive streak continues to form mesodermal cells up to that early part of 4th week. Then the primitive streak diminishes in relative size and becomes an insignificant structure in the sacrococcygeal region of the embryo. Normally, the primitive streak degenerates and diminishes in size and disappears by the end of the 4th week. So, the main aim of the primitive streak is the formation of 3 germ layers. Once the primitive streak formed on the dorsal surface of the epiblast, the cells migrates into that hypoblast to form the endoderm, and in between epiblast, then hypoblast, formation of mesoderm, and epiblast, the cells convert into that ectoderm. So, primitive streak is that helps in formation of 3 germ layers, that is gastrulation. So the summary of this gastrulation is the most characteristic event occurring during 3rd week is the gastrulation, which begins with the appearance of primitive streak, which has at its cephalic end the primitive node. In the region of the node and streak, epiblast cells move inward to form the new cell layer, that is endoderm and mesoderm. Cells that do not migrate through the streak but remain in the epiblast forms the ectoderm. Hence, epiblast gives rise to all 3 germ layers in the embryo: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So these layers form all of the tissues and organs of the body. So thank you for listening.